episode number 11. I'm coming to you from Bali, the beach in North Kuta in Canggu, and today is a very beautiful sunset. Not so sunny, but the sky is just amazing. There are some fishermen boats you can see behind me, and I found some quiet place at the beach. Look at the sky. Isn't it amazing? As always, you will see here on the beach lots of children and their families playing, and lots of dogs. Dogs are a must. Everybody in Bali, they say every house should have a dog. So here you go. Today I want to tell you a little bit about my life here. First of all, I really love how friendly the Balinese people are. They are willing to share everything they have with you. Every time you approach them, they're always smiling. They always are happy to answer your questions or help you find your way. And today I witnessed the ceremony of so next to our villa there is another villa and land which was recently bought. So I heard that bell ringing all the time, and I was like, well, what is it? Normally there is like a little cart that the man drives around with his bike, and he sells like some snacks or some food around around dinner time. But this ringing was just constant ringing, like somebody was ringing the bell all the time. So I came out and I saw this older Balinese man sitting under an umbrella in this piece of land, and an older lady next to him who was sprinkling some water or something, and they were sitting like on a piece of land covered with these offerings, and they were obviously chanting and praying for something. So later I talked to the man the Balinese man who is our neighbor, and he told me that this is a custom when you buy the new land. You have to, I guess it's kind of like asking permission or like blessing the land so that the house that they build there would be a good one. So that was very nice. And then they offered me some of their fruit from that basket, from that praying or ceremony. They do lots of ceremonies here, and all of them include some food. Always on the beach, when you walk around, you can see these little tiny baskets, any shape you want. Circle, like a real deep basket or just a small one made of the banana leaves. And inside you can always see some grass, some flowers. Sometimes they put coins, biscuits, or sometimes even cigarettes and some other food. I've seen coconut, bananas, pieces of like chicken, rice, everything you can think of basically. And it's very interesting, this culture. I still have to befriend one Balinese person who would tell me everything about it. All I know is just from some Wikipedia and some friends that I asked for, so that's not much. I also wanted to show you the beach, how it looks today. There are many people over there who came with their families and children to have a fun day at the beach. Nobody's working today, and many families just enjoy a snack at the beach. Their children are bathing, and the atmosphere of celebration is in the air. It's really fun to see everybody, children and their parents and grandparents, just splashing in the water and just throwing each other in the water and covering themselves with sand or building sand castles or some kind of structures from the sand. It's really nice to see how the Balinese people love to share their joy and happiness with each other. It's really awesome. Okay, that's enough talking about the Balinese culture and all. Let's go back to knitting and crocheting that I've been making. Now I will be coming to you from my home. Dear everyone, thank you very much for tuning in, and if it's the first time, I hope you like it and enjoy this podcast about knitting and crocheting and doll making. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming in again. I'm very happy to see you here, and I have prepared very many nice things to show you today. I will talk about my finished objects, which one of them you can already see here. Of course, it will be doll making, some acquisition, and some of my dyeing experiments with yarn, and the stuff that I bought in Jakarta. So let's start. Well, first of all, as you know, I live in Bali, and over here we have lots of organic yarn, and people love to use everything that's natural, and hence I have been using lots of organic cotton and bamboo blends. And this brings me to my first finished objects. Ta-da! It is the Spice Your Life cowl that I finished today. I'm very excited to show you. I woven all the ends in, and I've just finished finishing the border, and today I'm ready to show it to you. So here are the popcorn stitches that I talked about. I told you about this blanket the last time when I just started it, but I wanted to show you, I think last time I showed you it was here. Isn't it gorgeous? I love the colors that I chose, but for my next blanket, which I already think about starting, I would use maybe not so many colors, and I would choose one particular color and just a little bit of, to make it more interesting, I would throw in colors of maybe the same color but different shades. I'm thinking of using lots of blues, maybe no yellow and no pink, so it will be white, green, blue, my favorite colors. I really like this particular design, and this I designed so that they look like tulips. So this is the stem, the flower, and the blue sky. This one was a very interesting wave, which basically is easy to make. It's just 6 stitches of double trebles, then 6 stitches of doubles, and when you go back you do the same. On top of the doubles you do 6 doubles, and here you do 6 trebles, so it creates a wave. But when you change the color, you also change the on top of the trebles you do 6 doubles, and on top of the doubles you do 6 trebles, so that creates this interesting motif. I loved playing with colors, and I messed up a couple of times, which is normal, I think. For example, I don't know how I managed, but this is the wrong side and this is the right side. But I like both sides of this blanket. This is the wrong side, and I think it looks pretty nice as well. And I know many of us who have been making this blanket were talking about how to even up the edges. Maybe you can already see that they're not very straight, but you know what? I don't think the baby that will be lucky enough to be covered by this wouldn't mind, I think. So I thought, well, you know what? That's my work and it's my mistakes. I'm just gonna embrace them, and yeah, I'm happy with my work. I'm really excited. I have lots of yarn left, and I can always get some more, so I'm thinking that I should start a new one. Maybe a little bigger, maybe the same size. The best thing about it is that the rows are not too long, and the colors change all the time, the pattern changes, so you don't get bored. I really, compared to the other blanket I'm making, it's still not finished, I really enjoyed it, like really. So this is for first finished objects. The next one is not knitting related or crochet. It's my dolls. So this shy fella is Robert. I really like to make dolls that show nationality or which are just different ones. That's why here we have Robert and a mermaid with beautiful hair. My favorite yarn for this hair. Her name is Jamila. I actually asked my friends on Facebook and Instagram to name her, and I was surprised that some people, like, to me, the way I painted her with all these tiny details, this acrylic shells and the colors that I chose, to me they're really romantic, poetic and beautiful colors that reflect the colors that I see around me, the beautiful green, well, there's no green, but the water and the sky, how bright it is, how turquoise it is. And I was surprised how the people actually associate her with some like demon or some evil creature from a cartoon character with this crazy hair. To me, it's the opposite. I think she's a very kind and very like jazzy, playful doll, which is very happy, has a very vivid personality, and she just loves to swing to the music and all. So I'm really happy with how these two fellas turned out. Let me see if I can perch them here. Oh yeah, here we go. Well, these are the only two dolls that I have finished, but I have been working on many others and I wanted to show them to you. And by the way, we are already in the works in progress. This little froggy is the frog number 3 that I made. I'm really enjoying this series. I will show you actually how I make the dolls right here. I just wanted to show you my working place, and I wanted to show you how I make some of the dolls. And as you can see on my table, there's lots of different materials and dolls at different stages of being made. For example, this is the first stage when I draw the pattern, cut it out, and then I sew and turn it out. Then this is going to be like that. Then I fill it with this hollow fiber, and then I have a body, which further I draw the eyes and something like that. Sometimes I paint them, sometimes I stitch them, as you can see here, and then I usually do the details of the ears. Then I dress them like this one. I make a dress, or I do the costume for the boys. And the last stage would be the wings and the hair. So some dolls have the wings, some don't. And after that, I look at them and see if they need any more detail. Like this one, I felt like he needed something in his hand, as well as this one. And after that, I choose a beautiful name for them, and they're done. And other than dolls, I also make some toys, like these ones are specially designed to be baby friendly, and they will have no buttons, no sharp edges, absolutely nice squishiness, and I will just stitch the eyes and the mouth. And it's another one that I made. Oopsie daisies. It'll be a bunny. There's also a cat that's like a trio, what I said. And I really like to play with different fabric, which I store here. So like many of my family and friends say that I'm crazy to spend all this money on the fabric, but it's like paint for me, like for painters. When I look at the doll and I look at this fabric, it gives me ideas about the character and the personality that they will have. And if I'm making a frog that has like one leg that's different from the other, that adds to its character. So, well, that's how. Oh yeah, there's one little thing that I'm experimenting with, this furry fabric and this plastic eyes, which are connected like that. And I'm really excited to try it out, and maybe there'll be some furry monsters very soon. I hope that it will happen. Well, that's all, thanks. And I'll show you these ones. So these guys, I designed them for babies, and I just have to finish their faces and they will be done. Then next thing that I'm working on is this beauty. Imagine she has hair. Let's see. I don't know, imagine. There is another one, the Last Dark Beauty, which I almost finished. Well, I just wanted to show you anyway that this is how we do the hair. Another very beautiful doll. I really love the way her eyes turned out. And this fabric that I showed you, I brought from Kuala Lumpur. So, like, sea, summer, suns. So these are my works in progress. I also got a very interesting fur fabric from one of the local shops. And I found these eye buttons that I wanted to try out. So here we are. Also, I wanted to show you some stash that I got from my trip to Jakarta, which is the capital of Indonesia. I went this past weekend and I was really hoping to find some yarn to make some socks for my fiancé. And he's walking by. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? I'm making a video. Okay. So I was looking for something there, and he's gone, so I can show you. And I found this amazing yarn. It will be a surprise for him. I know he doesn't watch my videos unless I show them. So this is the yarn that I'm planning to use for the socks for him, and I tried to knit it up just to try how it will look on the needles. I'm pretty happy with how it will turn out. Because very soon, time flies, that's why it seems like it's soon. We're going to a different country to live, and it will be cold there at some point. Not as cold as you guys are experiencing probably, but still. Another thing I bought in Jakarta was this tulip hook. It's a 4mm hook, and I was thinking of using it to start the Lost in Time shawl, which I absolutely love the pattern, the one I see everywhere. So I was thinking, yes, I need it. And by the way, I tried it with this cotton thread, and I think it's just perfect for it. And I have lots of it left here, so that's fine. Another thing I got there was something non-yarn or knitting or crochet related. Well, some of you might remember from my first episodes. If not, you can check them out. The first two I showed when I was living in Istanbul. I really like drawing, so I treated myself to an amazing koi sakura set of aquarelle paints, and I just absolutely am in love with it. I already tried it out, and here is the palette that you can use, and here are the most amazing colors, and this is the brush. And the best thing about it that I could use it right away there when we were going back in the airport lounge, because all I have to do is fill this with water, use this as a sponge, and then that's it. And here are the colors that came out. I just enjoyed trying them out. Another thing I drew at the airport was, actually it was because of this thing we actually missed the plane. The thing was that when we were going to Jakarta, the flight was 3 hours late, and one of the officials working there, she told us that it will go at 4:30. So I was like, okay, I have time to paint, and I was so happy painting this picture. But then turns out that they have just announced the last call for our flight, and I rushed and then took everything with us, and turns out that the pilot has already closed the doors and everything, so we were stuck there for another hour, and thank God we were transferred to another flight. But yeah, this is why we were late. If I hadn't been painting, I would probably go and check the schedules again and see if our flight was coming. I drew it. This was easy, this was just playing with colors, but this I drew from a picture from the internet. I don't even know what bird it was, but I loved to play with colors. Like the beak was supposed to be darker, but I just added some more colors and yeah. And on the plane, I drew this guy who was just sleeping a couple of rows back, and I remembered how nice it is to draw again, and I hope very soon I'll be showing you more of these things. And other stuff that I bought were in Kuala Lumpur was this amazing notebook. Look at this, my favorite book, one of my favorite books, The Little Prince. And inside, look at that. I just know that, for example, Lindsay from By the Lakeside, she loves talking about the journals and things like that. And me too, I just love stationery. And I can see so many things I can write in this beautiful notebook. And another thing that I like is, I'm really sorry, is writing on black paper. That's why I got this interesting notebook. I also have the pens for it, so I'm good. So I have so much to show you today that I want to rush it through a little bit. Before Jakarta, I went to this local sewing shop where there are all these ribbons and beads and yarns and hooks and everything. And I got myself this hair that I'm planning to use for the hair. It's acrylic, and it's only because there is nothing woolly here. No, I'm not talking even about 50 or 30% wool, none. Just acrylic and a cotton. So I will have to do with that. And I got this really cool ribbon. And I had to buy so much because they don't sell by meters, but I'm loving it. I already tried it on in this skirt. Look how nice it looks. So yeah, that's what I bought there. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I keep telling you for the past 2 episodes about the self-dyed cowl that we're hosting with Anna from Dunkelgrün. So finally, yes, it happened. So here is my tiny video showing me dyeing. I have just opened this Bahama blue, and without measurement I just dumped a little bit inside and I'm mixing it. This water has some salt inside, and then I'm going to try to make variegated yarn. For that I have just cut my sponge, and I will mix these as well. So I will just, this is an experiment, so I don't mind if it doesn't turn out the way the professional dyers make. That's fine. As I want to make like socks or a shawl with it, I'm only dyeing 100 gram skein first. Maybe I should have started with like dyeing one color, but well, is me. I decided to do like this. So I made this beautiful, looking like my towel actually, colors, white and blue. And next I'm going to make some yellow, I think. And then probably I'll mix it with green, let's see. Just adding some yellow. Okay, so now I want to make green and yellow and keep the white. That's why I'm putting it just on the border between the blue and the white, hoping that this part will be yellow, this will be green, this will be blue, and this will stay white. This color is called Sunflower Yellow. Maybe I should have put more color here. Doesn't seem like a very bright yellow right now. Now I will warm it up a little bit and we'll see what happens. And right now I want to show you the ball. I don't have any fancy yarn cake makers or whatever you guys are lucky to have, but I have my own hands, and this is what it turned out. Sorry about the colors. I also tried to knit from it already, and I love the colors. As you can see, remember just now you saw the video of me dyeing it. I never thought that this is the result. That's how it's gonna look. The problem is I don't know what to make from it. So if you have any ideas, I'd be very happy to hear them, and maybe I will. So I was thinking about maybe a bag or maybe a shawl, or I don't know. What would you do? This is 100% cotton. And you are still have time to join our self-dyed call and see all the other amazing works that our friends have made, which are in Anna's the ravelry group. Please welcome on board. We still have time until the 31st of January. Another thing that I'm planning to do is I really miss making socks. So before I even got the yarn for my fiance's socks, I decided to try out this rayon that I got here, which was really cheap. That's why I got it. So I thought, let me cast on some socks. And although these are very slippery, I still managed to cast this on, and it's gonna be a really, maybe not practical, maybe I'm gonna frog it, but I wanted to see how this particular yarn would look when it's knitted up. So maybe I'm just gonna frog it and start these socks, because very soon, you see here, when we're living in such hot climate, I don't even notice that like if it wasn't for your podcasts and pictures on Instagram, I wouldn't even know that December is coming, because it doesn't feel like winter is coming or Christmas or autumn. It's the same constant temperature. It's very hot, humid, and I'm already sweating in this, although this is the thinnest dress again that I have. Anyhow, this was for my plans. Now, as you know, I like to share in the end of this episode, I like to share the things that I've read. So finally, hi! Finally, I have finished this amazing book by Cecilia, The Lyrebird. I swear this is just as amazing as all her other books, and I'm so happy that I bought it, and I would definitely recommend for any one of you to read it. It's a very romantic and heart-touching story that I'm sure many of you will love. So that's all. I'm very happy that you joined me today, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them down there in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I would really appreciate that. And I hope to see you very soon. Maybe I will make the next episode before the year ends, although there's lots of wedding planning going on. But yeah, see you very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.